Welcome to In the Green Room. I'm Kinga.
And this is Martin. Welcome, welcome. We have some lovely guests in the studio today.
Well, thank you that we're lovely. Right back at you.
And it's all about love.
With
Can
a
you
new
introduce
eye.
yourself?
That's right, with new eyes.
We're the two Andreas from Gallery Andrea, and we have a spring show right now.
Really?
So it is spring, so we're celebrating spring.
Okay.
And we have a spring wildflower show with all the spring wildflowers that are blooming right now in the mountains.
Mhm.
Mexican gold poppies, African daisies, all the beautiful things that are making you have allergies.
Right.
And magical.
It's so pretty, but you take
Magical.
your allergy pill.
Oh,
And-
magical.
Yeah, they are
They're-
magical.
They are
yes.
so magical.
The sunshine is out.
Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be windy today, but it's
No, but it was
It's-
so
I like the
cold
breeze. It feels
before.
great.
I know it's.
Getting
Were you tired of the
beautiful.
cold?
Everybody has to come to Phoenix.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been a little cold this year so far.
It has. I think they
It's
said
felt good.
that
I
March
really
was
like
one of the colder marches on record, which is
I enjoyed
kinda
it.
weird.
Oh, I did
Oh,
too.
I'm not complaining.
Well,
You
I
know,
loved
good,
it.
good.
the only people complaining are the tourists. They're saying we didn't get what we paid for.
Right.
This is too cold for us.
And you get a lot of tourists.
But
in the gallery.
really,
We do.
for Arizonans, at least for myself, anything under 70 is cold,
I know, right?
which is ridiculous.
I
And
know,
I'm
it
sure
is.
that anybody listening from the East Coast wants to punch me right
Oh,
now.
they said it, yeah.
So we're talking about love today. Love is the theme, love in relationships and not giving up. And we have the life and love coach, Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes is more fun.
That's right.
That's how people can find you. So we're gonna be asking questions on sustainability of relationships.
Ooh, I like that.
Mhm.
I like that. Well, it's interesting. Yeah, we, my wife and I, Sherry, we're actually. She is going to be in India for the next 30 days, training some people for her work. And so, we talked a lot about it before she, decided to accept, and whether I was going to go or whether she was going to, spend the 30 days there on her own. I mean, she's there with a team, but we haven't been apart more than maybe a week since we started dating, which was 12 years ago. So
Oh my.
now this is the longest that we're going to be apart, and so we talked a lot about it, and I think that's part of at least sustaining our relationship.
It can be healthy, right?
Yeah, be healthy.
I mean, because
is
I
it-
actually, and not to interrupt
No,
you,
please.
but I think it is healthy to have a separation and do your own thing.
Mhm.
Like I like to do my own thing and work on my art and fashion design, and I don't actually want to be around anyone else when I'm doing that.
Right, no matter how much you love them.
Yeah, no, exactly, right. So a little separation's good. So
Mhm.
that might
Silence
it might make
is-
your relationship even better.
Absolutely.
Silence is gold.
Right, right. It is
Well, you
nice.
do have a separation. I mean, you're together all but a week, but during the day you're not always together.
Well, yeah, I mean, our offices are on
Oh,
the other
okay.
end of the house, and
Mm.
she's working from her office, I'm working from my office, and sometimes we hardly see each other during the day. So we also have a healthy respect of each other's boundaries. I'm not going to go in there and interrupt her all the time, when she's on, and same thing, she doesn't come and interrupt me. And most of my work is confidential, so she's really, can't really bother me much anyway. Because I have to maintain the confidentiality requirements around my coaching. And so we do, even though we live in a 1,200 square foot house, it's big enough that we can have our own really comfortable spaces.
Well, so what are you going to do during that time? That's an interesting question. Are you going to do some things to foster yourself, like things that you normally would like to do, but she doesn't like to do? Like that's usually what I do. Like if my boyfriend's going out of town, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to go take that 2-step class, handlebar J's, or
Right.
you know what I mean? I like that kind of stuff. He does. I mean, he doesn't like dancing as much as I do. I love dance lessons.
Sure.
I do that all the
Mhm.
time.
Right.
But like, it's a good time to like foster those passions that
And-
you have
and
that
that's
you don't normally do because you're always doing like the coupley thing, like
Absolutely.
and
I would
catering to
rather.
what they want to do. But like, what do you really want to do? That's the
Absolutely. Because I would rather hang out with her than go do a lot of things. And Kinga can attest to this. She's like, you want to go? Nope, I'm going home.
question. So what are you gonna do now? You have all
Well,
this
now
free time
I've
on
been,
your hands.
it's only been a few days, but I got a ton of projects moved forward that, we've been working on for months now. I've got
honeydew list. He has a honeydew
honeydew
Oh,
list. I
my.
painted yesterday. I painted this.
Oh my gosh,
was
that
it
sounds
yesterday, day before
boring.
yesterday?
What about a hall pass?
Oh, well, no, I've had some fun. I mean, we
I'm
went
just
to a
kidding.
show Saturday night. You know, I'm
There you go.
seeing.
There you go.
Just kidding.
Does
That's
she need to
okay.
be-
No, I'm totally teasing.
It's
that's
totally fine.
that was a total joke.
No. Well,
Well, but I am also going to see some friends that I haven't seen for
Oh, that's
quite a
good.
while, hanging out with some people.
you went to a concert.
Went
this
to a
weekend.
concert on Saturday,
That's
and
good.
I
Do
was supposed to
something
go,
with the
but then
boys.
we didn't end up making it there.
yeah.
So
But it was a lot of fun.
Sorry.
And then what else? Working on more music, I think, while she's gone. Even though she likes to be a part of that as well. But definitely
we're doing stuff for the show.
doing stuff for
We
the
talked
show. Yeah,
about-
we'd be talking about that.
He's had a
and
list of
trying-
stuff for the show.
Yep.
we're
And
trying to
And
find
what
out
about
time.
like what
Here we
other
go, guys.
hobbies?
Get together. Owen, our new intern, is taking a picture.
1, 2, 3.
There we go.
Do you like to like fish or do stuff like that?
No, not really. I mean, I do like to be outdoors, and I mean, I do like to fish, but it's not.
Or what other hobbies do you like to do that she doesn't like to do?
Um,
Because it'd be a good time to do that.
right.
Well, something I know, she likes horror movies and you don't.
That's true.
Oh my
And
gosh,
I-
I hate more horror movies.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she likes
Can't
more
stand
dark, suspenseful things. I usually have to close my eyes at some point during one of her movies, but I still appreciate the acting and you know what they're trying to do. I just don't want that gore or whatever in my head. So I just close my eyes and it's
can't
fine.
watch that.
I can't
Yeah.
watch it either.
That, yeah.
I don't even like movies that are depressing or like about really
No.
a sad situation.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I like uplifting movies.
Yes.
I
Right.
like things that make me
Mhm.
feel good. So I'll probably watch a little bit more science fiction because that's what I like. And then, I mean, as far as hobbies, I got plenty of hobbies. It's just, enjoying them and taking them nice and slow. Like the house, in between projects is kind of a mess. We're a lot of times.
Well, those are always important to do.
I like
Mhm.
mess.
And that
You like mess, yes.
but you
Well,
got,
don't
Yeah, my mom
listen.
likes clutter.
no, for her it's organized chaos.
Right.
She knows
where everything
exactly
is.
where
Yes.
everything is. I'll be like, Mom, where's that paper? She's like,
Oh,
I'm like, how can you find that? She's like, I know exactly where it
Mhm.
is. It's under that folder
Mhm.
in the corner
I
of there. I'm
sent
like,
that to her.
Yep.
what?
I knew exactly.
Like, you know where that is? Like, I'd never find that. So
see, I'm the same way. I'm a little bit organized chaos. I work on piles,
Chaos
but I know.
organized.
Yeah, organized chaos, right?
oh my gosh, well,
Because that's the best. But
So
not
focusing-
if people come in my house. I don't
Right,
like.
right.
Focusing
I
on
it's a
love.
studio.
Can two people be together if one is all about clutter? If you're total opposites,
Mhm.
do you think that relationship can work? You being that expert, you see a lot of couples that come to you to get relationship advice. Let's say one is likes it hot, one likes it cold, one likes horror, one doesn't.
Mhm.
One likes total organization, and one is completely chaotic and cluttery.
Right. Well,
How do you feel about that?
most of the folks that I know that are like that do spend that time apart. Matter of fact, some of my greatest mentors have houses separate from their spouses, or they live in a different place,
And
and then
does
they
that
go and
work
visit
well?
each other. It works phenomenally well for them because everybody gets their own space. They get to do what they want to do, and then when they come together, they do it every single time because they want to, not because
Right.
they have to. Like when you're in a small house and you're going to the house every single day, you have to go see that person. Now you may not interact with them, but the clutter's there. You forget to pick up your shoes, and they're really strict about picking up the shoes. Yada yada yada. The list goes on. But now having that maybe a week or two, and then that person's gone. Then that person gets the best of both worlds, both
Mhm.
a little bit of turbulence in their equilibrium, and then back to their quiet place where everything where they put it. The next time they go, it's still there. That
But
kind of thing.
I think it's important that the person doesn't lose who they are
Right.
in the relationship.
Mhm.
So
I think that's so true because
That-
I was married.
it's so important.
Yeah.
It's like what is true.
Chet's not here today, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's good. I can talk about things that he'd get mad
Well, he's
about.
gonna
if I
listen to
was talking
podcasts later. so-
about. Perfect. So I was married for almost 30 years to this amazing man, Chet and Rachel's father. But now that we're divorced, I see we had happiness for probably 23 years. Mm-hmm. 23 to 24 years.
Right.
But then beyond that, when my father-in-law passed, there was a lot of stuff that went down, and then I felt like he changed a little bit. Like
Mhm.
all the things that we did together kind of just like stopped.
Right.
Things that I enjoyed, and I don't know, he just became like more like sedentary and not
Mhm.
wanting to do the things we were doing before, and it was all about like taking care of his
You were
mom's
getting
need.
bored?
Yeah, a little bit. Yes. And then, so also, I feel like
have to
I
laugh.
started recognizing that I wasn't
Come on, be
getting.
careful. This is
Okay,
on air.
well, so when we would get in fights, I would disappear, and I would do things that I've always wanted to do
Yeah.
that I wasn't able to do before.
Right.
You know, like he never really would let me drink wine.
Mhm.
He wanted me to drink beer. It's like, why was I always drinking beer? I like wine.
Well, first of
You
all,
know,
that's a
that's
red
ridiculous.
flag right there. A man
Right.
should not change you or control you. And, you know, they can give their feedback. You know, if something is not productive or,
know what?
or healthy for you, they should say something.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But I don't think they should, like, control
do you think a
that
little bit I was
cannot-
controlled? Do you think I was?
Oh,
I mean,
it's hard for me to make a
just
comment.
give little snippets. Don't be extreme.
Uh,
Do you think I was controlled a little bit?
well, I mean, it's hard to say that in a diplomatic way.
Right. Well, I think
Yeah, I think you
I
have
think
the
there's
answer right there.
aspects of that in every relationship.
right.
People do try to control each other, and
But
the
it was my
idea-
fault because I let him. I loved him so much. I wanted
Right.
to please him,
Mhm.
and I think I wanted to be kind of controlled. It was weird.
Well,
So-
you fell into it. You fell into it
Yeah.
nicely. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But
'Cause I was so
I don't
loved and-
think that a guy should change who you are. They should not change you down to the core. Who are you?
Right.
And what do you stand for? What are your values? What are your hobbies
Yeah.
and passions? And I think that's important. So
Right.
even if you're completely different, they should appreciate you for who you are.
Right.
And if
so
they
like,
don't, then
I'm
they're
a
not
foodie,
a good
and
companion.
he was not really a
Really
foodie. He
Let
always wanted to
them
go to the
be.
same
Let
restaurant.
them be what they want to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my
That's
motto.
the
Yes.
best advice you can give somebody.
And I never
In a
used
relationship.
this, but it
What do you
came-
mean? What do you mean by that?
Whatever they want to do, let
Mhm.
them do it. Like
Right.
you're,
It- Yeah,
you're,
I mean,
you're
she means if they
married-
want to stay home, let them stay
Yes.
home.
as Namakar, I don't want
Yeah,
to.
don't say his name. Yeah. Yes.
He had so much clutter, but it was his clutter.
Mhm.
I
Oh yeah.
was wondering
But
what
he enjoyed it, so let him.
I
you know.
enjoyed his clutter.
Everyone has
actually,
quirkiness
in
to-
front
Well,
of
no.
his house.
No,
At another front-
So we had to have a whole other house where
Oh
he kept
my
his
gosh.
clutter because he would
I
keep
never
everything.
saw.
And
wow.
and so
It
so
was so
things would come
funny.
home.
Well, you guys,
And
let's
I-
be nice. It's Easter week.
Mhm.
Let's be nice.
I am being nice. I'm just saying the facts.
Well, that's true.
I'm just saying the facts.
But,
You
yeah,
didn't say too
some
much.
people are better organizing than others. I would say.
I'm
Right?
not saying something bad. There are people that like
Well-
they like hoard things,
That's true.
and he is a little bit of a hoarder,
Mhm.
Right.
and actually more so than anybody I know.
And
I mean, we had to have a whole other house where he kept his stuff,
Mhm.
but then he would try to bring that stuff. Like people, okay, in the office buildings,
Your mom.
people would leave stuff that they consider trash. Like they'd leave like 14
was-
staplers, and all of a sudden he'd bring it
For
to
him,
not,
it was
not to the clutter house,
yeah.
but he'd bring it to our
Oh,
house,
jeez.
and I'd be like,
Oh my god.
he'd put everything on the dining room table, and of course I'd get upset
Mm.
because I'm like, this is like a 3-hour job for me to get rid of this stuff.
Right. Right.
Jim saying so it was like a full-time job getting rid of
But,
stuff.
but
Can
you
I-
know, there needs
Yeah.
to be a
Can I
balance because,
say
like,
something?
go ahead.
Yes.
Yes.
This is really funny because I let it be everything,
Hmm.
and a few times it was for the contrary because I should have done something about it, but I let it be.
About what?
And then
Clutter?
grandma arrived,
Clutter.
Oh yeah, my
and
grandma
she
would get rid of clutter.
socially simply just started putting this here and
Mhm.
putting it, and then
And she was just getting
my
rid of
husband
things.
said, "Wilma, what are you doing? Those are my books." And
She was
and
smart. She just
she would say, "It doesn't belong here. Take it to your
Right. She
room."
said put it in a different room. Well, you know, putting things in the right spot is
Yeah.
She
important.
was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, God."
it was so great
Let
when
it
she
be,
came
you
into
know.
town. She would organize things. She'd get rid of things. She'd declutter things, and so
But-
it was like
Because books
perfect.
But you know, an
him
important
was
an important
everything.
point to
Books.
make is it
You know?
doesn't come naturally for for everyone.
Right.
So I have to work hard to keep things, you know, tidy.
Mhm.
Same
But I
here.
like it tidy, but I have to work harder. It doesn't
Right.
come
Mhm.
it doesn't come naturally. Some people it comes
I
naturally.
actually have an
So
episode.
we don't need to criticize someone who's like that. It's an observation we're making, but they can't help it.
But hold on, it's not being. You're not criticizing somebody if
No.
you're saying I want to be compatible with somebody, and it would be nice if they also liked organization. If it'd be nice, like
Yeah.
I recently broke up with somebody,
Mhm.
and that you know about,
Mhm.
and you told me to make a list of what I want in a person.
Right.
And so I just need to go through and just, write 100 things. I did write a few things down,
Mhm.
but something that I think would be important to me is I don't like clutter.
Right.
And this person has to like organization,
Mhm.
and I like things clean. I like to, like, if I don't stack dishes in the sink and leave it there. I have to put it away right away.
Right.
When I get out of bed, I have to fix my bed.
Mhm.
I get fixed. Because otherwise, if you don't do those little things, it always is a mess. And then I don't enjoy it.
Right. Right.
I don't enjoy it.
Mhm.
So.
Well, and that's what you have to look at. And if that's important to you,
Mhm.
then that should be important.
Mhm.
For other people, it's not as important. I very rarely make the bed unless Sherry wants it made, and I'll help her make it. But other than that, it doesn't matter
You
to me.
sound like you treat her like a queen.
He does.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I mean, I can
But
just
she
tell.
treats me like a king as well. I mean,
She
it's,
does.
it's a
She
two-way
does.
street. That's the thing.
No, they're great
And
together.
I'm happy to do those things for her because she's happy to do other things for me, and we've had those conversations. I think, however, in previous relationships, I did not have that. It was, a resentment, or I'd leave my shoes out, and somebody would lose their mind, or those kind of things. And it's that become those have become those
Oh my
red
gosh.
flags that you're
Well,
talking about.
so the last person that I just kind of was dating and
Yeah.
broke up with, I realized that is important to me because it was important to him.
Mhm.
And I really thought, wow, this is so cool to be like, hang out with somebody that thinks that's important too.
Mhm.
Because then you don't have to get stressed out about it always being a mess. And like, they care about that too. Like, if I get a scratch on my car, I'm going to go fix it.
Right.
My ex has a scratch on every car,
Mhm.
unless it's his like vintage collection that he never drives.
Right.
But the daily driver, he doesn't care about. Like, if the light,
Mhm.
breaks off, he's going to tape it on there. That's not me.
What was that?
Oh my
Right.
gosh, that's hilarious.
And so you've got to learn.
Oh my gosh.
That's good.
I always wonder, why did those people fix that car? What's going on there?
Well, the thing is, you're good. If
If
you
the leg
go to
is broken,
sell
I'll tape
it,
it back
or
on.
if you get
What?
pulled over,
I'll tape it.
you're eventually gonna have to fix it.
Mhm.
It's like if you have a bill, just pay it. Don't wait till it's late and then you have to pay that late payment
Mhm.
too. And if you do that with every bill, think of all that stuff that adds up.
Yeah, but what about
So
all us
that's why I have-
procrastinators?
Everything
That's
is
true.
But,
No, I'm not perfect.
but-
I'm
but,
late. I do run late. Which
The
isn't
thing
good.
is, too, in some sense, someone who's super organized can bring out the best in someone else who isn't so much. So, and that can be a great team because there's a saying the opposites attract, and so one person's really organized, the other one's not, and then they help the other person who's not organized, so they can help each other out.
That's
So that
exactly where
can
I'm at.
work well
Because I am not the most organized person.
one of my sisters, not
That's
Kinga,
good.
but one of my other sisters, her boyfriend's super organized, and she's not like him in that sense.
Who?
We have a lot of siblings, so let's
so-
not say any names.
So I'm not going to say a name. I'm not going to say the name. I'm just saying. So her boyfriend is like very organized. So and they complement each other that
Right.
who
way.
is
So I'm
organized?
saying it doesn't matter their name, but because we don't want to say on the radio, or podcast, but I think sometimes that can work because you're helping the other person out. You're bringing out.
Well, if you're empowering somebody, like in a relationship, you're the expert here. I feel like if you're with somebody that makes you a better person, if you're with somebody that you can be yourself with,
Mhm.
if you're with somebody that you're learning from and they're learning from you.
I think that's a very important thing because going back to I use my relationship as an example. It was very similar to what you described. Sherry's very organized. She likes things in their place, but she's learned that I'm not as organized, and so she's learned that she can tolerate some disorganization. But there becomes a time when she's like, okay, I can't deal with this anymore.
But
Will you help
what kind
me?
of function you're talking about?
like what kind of example?
Oh, just our dining room table tends to be a catch-all for when we come home, and then eventually it's full and we can't
The
sit
dining
down. The
room,
Why
dining
don't you
room.
when wanna
surprise
eat,
her and
then
just
you have to put
just
everything
never
away.
put stuff on there
That's
anymore?
what happened.
We do
Because
that too.
we both do it. It's not.
Okay,
It's
okay.
not that.
Okay.
It's not that I only do it. But then it reaches a point, and neither one of us get mad. It doesn't bother. It just okay. It's time to clean it up, and then we just do it, and we have a conversation about it, and then it's over, and it's easy, and there's no accusations like why didn't you do that? It's more thanks so much for helping me.
Well,
I really
But see,
appreciate it.
okay, so
That's healthy.
so there was a boyfriend, a husband, and then number 3. And with number 3, let's just call him number 3.
Let's call him Antonio.
Okay, I love Antonio Banderas.
Antonio
Or
Banderas.
should we call him Mitch?
No, I like Antonio for the
Antonio.
podcast.
Okay, so Antonio, what I love is he would inspire me to want to be even more organized and more clean. You know, his car would look perfect, and he's like,
Now that's too much.
I gotta
It's
clean my
more-
car.
More.
so I'd be like, oh shoot, he's gonna come pick me up. I gotta go clean my car. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like if somebody's empowering you or inspiring you to do better in your life, that's good.
It's good up until the point where if you
Exactly.
don't do it, they make you feel bad about it.
That's
No,
true.
that's true.
I agree with that.
It's,
Yeah,
that's true. That's
there is
true.
a give and take.
That's true.
There
I'm
is a
proud of my
That's
mother.
right.
right.
Because
And you
whoever
should be.
opens that door to my house, and you know that, you see all kinds of things.
Well, it's a
not
studio. It's a studio.
Right,
It's
it's
okay.
good, yeah.
There's art
It's
supplies
like-
all over the place.
boring. It's like gold from heaven.
There's-
A relative
Yes.
asked me the other day. He said to me, "Did my mom get cluttery because of her mom, because of grandma?" And I said, "No. But now I'm thinking back.
Well, I was a very messy kid, and so was Sherry, which is interesting. And so we were. I mean, her mom talks about how
and there's
her.
nothing wrong with that.
Oh no,
Some of the
what-
most famous geniuses
Mhm.
You
were
are
not
a genius.
organized.
Right.
It's a genius.
You know?
But okay, there's no wrong or right here.
No, there's
Okay,
not.
I want to say
I used to.
what it is it's about love and compatibility.
Oh, and
Can you
this
be
is for
compatible
you.
with this person? Yes.
Can I?
This
I
is.
used to read the clouds, and I said,
Cheers.
my mother was saying, Andrea, Andy, where are you? Where are you? And I was just keep looking at the clouds. I was only 6 years old. Can you imagine?
just enthralled by the clouds.
But
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Just gazing
that
at the
what is
clouds.
this
Typical artist.
leading me.
Their
to
heads
that.
in the
Mhm.
clouds.
They threw me out of the school because
I don't understand
didn't
what you're
do
trying to
what I
say.
was supposed to do.
Mhm.
I don't understand what you're saying. So you're saying you were looking at the clouds instead of doing
Yeah.
your homework?
I don't know what I did. I was 6 years old. Mother said, Andy, where are you?
She's an artist, so she'll
And
just
I
say
was
random
just
things.
looking-
Just go with it. It's
Well,
all
I
good.
saw
Okay?
in
Gallery
the
Andrea.
Just go with it.
I
Gallery
still
Andrea.
do that.
The ideas pop in
And
her
do
head.
you
Just go
do you
with
look
it.
for like shapes? Do you see flowers and all that kind of
Exactly.
stuff
And
in the
Is this
in the
after you
clouds?
puff of
No.
something?
No.
No, she doesn't puff anything.
What do you say?
We're a
Is this after a
non-puff
puff of-
family. So
No.
we don't do
No.
that stuff.
This is, I see things what I just, others don't see.
Mm-hmm.
Like an
And it's
artist
for you, this.
sees. I think what she's trying to say. She's
You see,
an
everything
artist
big.
sees things in nature that maybe other people
you
wouldn't
see
see.
art in the clouds. You see
You see
art
in the clouds
everywhere.
everywhere,
Yes.
in your environment, everywhere.
In the food, you're looking for
I
art.
see
Mhm.
people. I see,
Oh, that's true. We were eating at Beckett's table. This is really kind of a cool story.
well, here in this room, but if you have like
We were eating at Beckett's
stone-
table, and my mom
stone
looked over
has
and she said, "Mom, I want to tell the story."
Poverty.
And my mom looks over and she goes, "Look how beautiful that woman is." She said, "Look at the features on her face." My mom goes, "She's wearing no makeup. Look at her eyes. Look at her hair. Look at her dress, and look at the guy.
Oh yeah,
Why
yeah,
is she
yeah,
with
yeah.
that guy?"
It was enough.
And then my mom was like, she was really studying her. My mom, and then we changed the subject. We're talking about something. We're talking about something else. And finally, I walked over to the girl, and I said, she was probably like 40,
Mhm.
and you know,
yeah.
maybe late 30s,
But she was
maybe.
very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
And she had nothing on.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Well, no makeup
On her face.
She had
Yeah.
clothes
I
on.
mean, not nude.
She-
my
Yeah.
God.
At Beckett's table.
And so she, I
Oh my
went up in
gosh,
front of
what's
I hope
happening?
her
you're not
boyfriend, and I said,
listening.
"Oh, is this your boyfriend or your husband?" Well, she's going to come on the show. She actually works for a radio station. She's an audio engineer.
No kidding.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
No,
funny.
I just said I don't know.
And so she came
The
straight
place
to the
was
Captured
table.
your
beautiful.
attention.
I'm not
Oh, she
gonna
came
say
straight up to
where.
talk to my mom.
She
She
was
just
there
was-
with me,
Uh-huh.
and I was kind of bored to see all the other people. And suddenly, somebody walks in, and she was like a
All dressed up.
class.
Right.
Dressed
Not
up to the nines.
class in. She was very beautiful profile,
Mm-hmm.
Hair.
nicely dressed, but
Very
not
dressed up.
overdressed.
Yeah.
Right.
She had a one-shoulder dress,
Yeah.
and very sexy.
And I don't know, I just said to Kingo,
Yeah.
look there. She said, where? I said, there.
Mm-hmm.
And then she
Well,
finally
you know,
got
people
it.
are beautiful.
And there was this
People
guy
are
with
beautiful.
her who was
Recognizing
like,
beautiful.
oh, talking about something. We didn't know exactly
But
what.
then she told us
That
we've
it
been
was
on
her
and off
ex-boyfriend.
dating, on and
Oh,
off, back
interesting.
together. When she came over, she told us
Uh-huh.
for 12 years back and forth. And I was like, what is she doing with that guy? Because she was like hot.
right.
Yeah.
And he was not.
Well, she was very
Maybe
nice.
maybe it's a good personality.
That's true. He can be funny.
Maybe he's really
Not
funny.
if he's breaking
Well-
up with her all the time.
Well, that's true.
In this case, she was sitting this way, like I would be sitting this way, and I was there. So it's a profile.
Mhm.
She had a very nice profile for an artist maybe to paint it, but I
I
don't
see.
And we
like.
told her that, and she was all
Yeah.
excited to come to the gallery.
Yeah.
We've been texting back and forth, and she, actually, I don't want to announce right now who she works for, but it's a big show.
Mhm.
So she's going to be in here soon. I'm
Yeah.
very
I
excited
can't wait
about
to
it.
meet her.
And she
So I
looks like a
was-
supermodel. She really
I-
does.
Yeah.
This is like way supermodel.
By
Not
the
really.
way, did you guys
Oh,
watch, on another note, not to get on a sidetrack note as we keep going, but anyway, the Country Music Awards.
I did.
Did you guys
not.
watch that last
No.
night?
I'm not into country, so no.
Oh, okay. It was really great, and
Sad the mother died of the judge.
no, it was a
Oh,
lot
oh,
of
yeah. Yeah,
great singers on last night. The
Yeah.
Judd, the
Yeah.
Judd
Judd
daughter,
sisters.
the
Mhm.
Judd daughter,
Mother died.
Naomi.
because
And
right, because the mother died.
Yeah.
And so it was nice to see that she still came out and she was performing.
Oh
It's
wow.
great.
And I don't know what the deal is, but everyone was wearing like shorts, like the women
Hmm.
were all wearing shorts, and they're
How
like
cute.
really
that's the
high up.
style.
I was
Oh,
like,
that's
what
great.
is that? Is that what's in
Yeah,
style?
It's in
it's
style.
style. It's in
Okay.
Yeah,
style.
because as
Yeah.
artists, we look at stuff
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
we're visual people.
It's-
So
No, in
I
fact,
was just
Rachel
looking
and
what was in
Chet,
style, and I was like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
they're wearing like high heels with like these little
yes,
short things. And I was
Whatever
like,
they
okay.
want to be.
Okay, I guess
Right?
that's in style now.
Rachel and
Show
Chet just
it.
had a
That's
gig.
They show it.
You
And they-
got it to show it.
I
Right?
got to see what was in style. So
So
Yeah.
Rachel and Chet just had a gig, and Blazing Buds music, and they killed it. I mean, they did such a great job at Dark Star in Tempe. And Rachel was wearing this pirate's outfit that had like kind of a long cape, but then these mini little short shorts.
Mhm.
And I was like, wow, that looks really cool.
Yeah,
And she was in with it,
that's
you know.
totally in style. And Carrie Underwood,
Uh-huh.
when
Yeah.
she performed, she was also wearing the shorts with the
Really?
jacket,
So
like
it was
a
a
leather.
thing.
It's a thing. It's a leather
It's a thing
jacket
to
with the
do.
shorts.
Yeah.
This is,
It was
let it
just-
be.
The
Let
whole
it
night,
right.
that was the consistent theme. So
Oh, this is good.
that's what's in
Let
style.
it be for the
You don't have to
party.
wear shorts though.
So back to the theme of the show, which is love,
Mhm.
relationships, sustainability in a relationship, and why people, if this relationship isn't serving you,
Mhm.
Oh,
why don't you
cool.
move on? Because like you tell me, because like I know a lot of people that have been in like a long-term relationship, like
Mhm.
that supermodel we saw at
Mhm.
Beckett's table, and when she came over, she said, "Oh, we're on, we're
Mhm.
off." She's so gorgeous. What is she putting up with that for? I know you've been in a long-term relationship. You seem happy, but I know you want to
It's
get
all
married.
good. It's all good.
Mhm.
It's all good, but I know you want to get married.
But you
Why
know,
do people put up with not having everything they want?
Well, I think there's a lot of different reasons. I think maybe they might not think they could find better. They actually, you don't always get to control who you love. Sometimes it just
Ooh,
takes you
that's
over.
so good.
it's very profound.
Right.
I love
I
that.
agree with that.
Yeah, and
You
so
don't control who you love.
no, I mean, and
Wow.
you don't even control who you think is attractive, right? I mean,
You
you
cannot
know,
even control
That could be the
yourself,
title.
Right.
You don't control who you love. That's a great
There you
title.
go.
Right.
Yeah,
You
and
can't
so
control who you
there's
love.
that. There's
Wow.
loyalty towards someone that you love, but you can love somebody.
Mm.
I have a favorite saying about a few certain people in my life is that they're easy to love, they're hard to like, and
I
so
love that.
I think that that's part of it. But it's and going back to your question, why? Because I think there's a variety of reasons. It can come from insecurity, not feeling good enough for another person, or having their own flaws
Yeah.
that they have to deal with, and so they're happy that somebody else has flaws that make them maybe look a little bit better or worse or whatever. So it's I think it's different for every person, and I think that there is what we might think of putting up with something might be a way that they communicate, which is fine. So it's a very personal choice.
I think it's a personal question, so I think everyone should, walk their own journey and do, what's right for them.
Yep.
There's no right or wrong answer.
But
So
there's something to it.
I think that
A point.
I think in today's world there is a high rate of divorce and such.
It's over 50%.
Some people are lucky and they instantly will get married and they're
Left.
lucky that it lasts for a long time. but there's a huge percentage of divorces out there, and I think you should, you should be careful before you make that decision that it's the right one.
Absolutely,
Also,
and
I don't think it's something to take lightly, because it's a covenant that you're entering into.
But
so.
I'm just asking
So-
Martin, as the expert, and your boyfriend's not going to listen to today's
But
show.
I don't want to talk about my own personal life.
That's fine.
It's personal.
Okay.
talk about mine.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd
okay,
rather
okay.
not. Yeah.
So I'll just hypothetically talk about other clients that you've had. If you have one, if you have a couple and one person really wants to get married
Mhm.
and have a baby, and the other person doesn't, and they love each other, and in every other way they are compatible,
Mhm.
what do you say?
Again, that's without more context. That's very difficult to say, because it depends on what age they are, what they've got going on in their lives. Why does this person want to have a baby? Is it because they're coming from a sense of lack, and they don't have their own life together yet, and they think that maybe having a baby will make their life more meaningful, which it probably will, but you still, I think, if you enter parenthood, you want to do it for the right reasons, if you can.
And what would that reason be?
That's a great question. I think it's different for everybody.
Well, the only reason why I feel like
is.
there's certain people that I knew when I was like 18,
Mhm.
the most important thing to me was like getting married and having
Have a
kids.
baby, right?
I wanted kids.
And that's very instinctive for us.
But I have a sister that lives in Chicago.
Mhm.
She was like, I don't think I ever want to have a baby.
Right.
So, and now she ended up marrying somebody that had young children, and she's the best mom to those kids.
Right.
But it's interesting how like some people want it, some people don't. Everybody's different. It's interesting.
And I think we're seeing a trend now where more and more people are really looking at how hard parenting is and choosing not to. So we're seeing people older and older before they have children, which I think is great, because
That is interesting. It's that is a fact that people are waiting till they're older to have kids,
Yes.
and the fertility clinics are really busy right now. They're getting a lot of people who have put off having kids, and the thing is, right now with women who, and this has been going on for a while, women have entered the workforce. And they're entrepreneurs and business owners, and
right,
we
they're
have an art,
busy.
we have an art gallery.
Yes.
It's 19. We have a 19-year-old gallery that was born 19 years
We
ago.
kept that every day the best.
That's right.
So I
It
think
is still kept the best.
women, business. If you're an entrepreneur
Gallery
Come and
Andrea.
see it.
Gallery Andrea.
It's
Main
Gallery
Street.
Andrea.
if you're an entrepreneur type,
What's the
two
phone number?
Andreas.
What's the phone number to
What's that?
Gallery Andrea?
the website,
Website.
artandrea.com.
Artandrea.com. Do you want to show a painting or two?
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing.
But as she's showing the
Speaking of
paintings, I
galleries,
want to
so
say that everybody feels differently about relationships.
Right.
And some
Okay.
people are just like, they don't put up with anything.
Mhm.
And some people put up with
So you
everything.
have to.
And you can have siblings that are so different in how they, that they're all raised from the same parents, but they're so different about how they look at
Why is
relationships.
that?
Why is that?
Well, I think, boy, that is a loaded question. I personally have my own opinions that are more on the spiritual side, but I believe a wise person said that we are not our children, they are not us. They come through us, they are not from us.
Andrea, that's
And
the
so
wrong side.
I believe that their spirits come through us, and we're there to nurture them, but they are not the same people that we are.
What about that?
And even from birth, I remember, I was at both my children's birth, and from moment one, I could tell they were different people, and I could tell that they had certain personality, or were going to have certain personality quirks, and I was pretty close to right.
It's
and
very
so
interesting.
they came out, and the first second they were different.
Yeah.
It's so
But
interesting.
we're all so different. We might have the same blood and genes, but I think we're all different. We have some similarities, but we have differences too.
Mhm.
But that's what makes everything beautiful.
That's
Well,
what makes
one
it
of
all
beautiful.
have
one of
And
my
it's
great
scarf.
mentors says we are one in difference.
What's that?
Owen has a question.
No, I was just gonna tell her to hold it like.
Oh, hold it up.
You want me to, where do you want
Oh,
me
yes,
to
we
hold
have
it?
this
Right
Here,
there.
Owen,
beautiful.
wait, let Owen come to the mic and talk
Yeah,
about the
go ahead.
scarf. Owen, come here.
Put the signature
Owen, we
in
need
it.
him to.
Okay,
Owen, come
hold
over.
on.
Owen.
One scoot.
Oh, you want me to
I
hold it
think
here?
so.
Owen,
Okay,
get
like
to the
that?
mic.
Because then
Okay.
they can see
Oh,
it.
It's
yeah.
a beautiful scarf.
Yes.
Has a lot of flowers on it, a lot of variety, and It's very, very beautiful.
Sunflowers.
So would you buy one for one of your girlfriends?
Oh yeah. That's definitely like a Christmas present or a birthday present.
Or
something.
Valentine's.
Valentine's present.
Oh, and
exactly.
yeah,
Owen's currently
and-
single.
Andrea,
Oh my gosh, Kinga. You're not subtle at all, are you, Kinga? Oh my God.
Well, these are prints of your artwork.
So this is my
Wait, which
this
one?
is my mother's
which one she's
painting.
showing? She's
You gotta
showing
speak
And-
into the
wrong
mic.
side.
Go to
Oh,
the mic
sorry.
and speak.
Okay, okay. Oh, and
Take
you
a
want to hold
scarf
that
with
up?
Wait,
Owen,
Oh,
would
and
you
you
be
wanna
our
hold that?
Vanna White, please?
So
Yeah, I got
it's the other side.
this
no?
is my mother's
Am I seeing
painting,
it or the
Andrea, the
others?
Purpley Zach.
Mm-hmm.
It's her painting that is I've actually transferred it into
And how much does this
scarf.
cost if someone's going to buy it at the store?
It's $250.
$250.
It's a
Wow.
great Mother's Day gift. We have Mother's Days around the corner.
I'm going to buy it for myself.
Isn't it beautiful?
And what's the
$250
fabric?
sold.
And it's called
Love it.
Happy.
3, 4, 5,
Happy.
6,
Happy,
7,
I'm
8,
buying
9,
that
It's
10.
called
scarf. So
Happy.
sorry
It's
guys
like
out there.
roses.
And it's
You can't buy
100%
this scarf.
silk.
100%.
It's
silk.
100% silk.
100% silk. I'm buying it right now.
And it's
Sold.
just a great accessory.
Wait, I don't understand.
Aren't they
this.
one of a kind so nobody can get that same
Right.
one that I'm buying?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
one of a
done.
kind.
Was this
Dominic, wrap it up.
was
Wrap
this
it up.
Oh my
for us
gosh.
to see it, or how do you?
Oh, is it
Yeah,
show up
there's
on the
video.
screen?
Yep.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then actually, this is a dress that do you want me to tell the funny story about
You
the,
have to talk
Yeah.
to the mic
the
and
neck?
let,
So
Owen show
I
it.
made this for an 89-year-old
And Dominic.
woman. She came in the gallery
Okay.
and she said, I want to buy one of the dresses, right?
Okay.
And I said, don't you want like longer sleeves? She said, no, I
No.
want to show my arms.
And I want to
I
show
said,
my
don't you
knees.
want it looser around your stomach? No, I want to show my stomach.
Just like it is.
And I said,
And
what
I
about
said,
your
I am
legs?
just like
I
that.
said, don't you want to don't you want to cover up your legs at your young age? And she goes, no, I want to show my legs.
She's 9.
Really?
And
Love
this is
it.
for
She
she's
sounds
almost
so
90
cute.
years. She's 89 years
Let's
old.
get her on the show. She sounds like a
Well,
kid.
she lives in Minnesota.
She will.
Oh,
She just
perfect.
came. She was just on
sometime.
vacation.
You can get
But
her.
how
she gets
beautiful.
back.
Now she's got Arizona wildflower dress that she loved. That's
With
one
the
of a
roses.
kind.
Yes.
The roses. That's amazing.
Oh, so this one actually has.
What does the dress cost if someone comes to the store?
This is $250. $250.
Should
Okay,
be
hold up the dress
350,
again. I want to see
I
it.
don't
So
know.
this one
Yeah,
actually has
yeah, she
roses.
Mhm.
So it's called Love
That's
Connection.
so pretty. Oh my
Love
gosh.
connection.
Love Connection, and she's single, so she's looking forward to the love
Ah.
connection.
Oh, love connection. Yes,
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't
Love
just have
connection.
roses. There's some other
Oh my
flowers
God.
in there too.
that's beautiful. What
Yes, it
size
has-
is that? A small, medium, or large?
It's actually an extra large.
You might need to scoot more this way to get back into the video. How much time do we have, Dominic? And
Oh,
Owen?
okay.
Gonna be 13,
13
minutes.
We have 13 minutes left. Okay, cool. So back to your advice
Mhm.
for the love connection.
Sure.
So you're saying that opposites can attract. You can be with somebody that like loves clutter and you don't love clutter, and you want it hot and they want it cold, and
I think you can bridge all those
Rain
gaps.
and
It takes
shine.
right, but it takes communication. I am a huge believer in either coaching or therapy or couples therapy or any of those
Everybody
kind of
who is
things.
not quite normal should have a little therapy in art.
Even if you
What
are
they
normal, which
can
who knows what
achieve.
really
I
normal
think any
is.
couple could benefit from
Absolutely.
coaching or therapy.
depending on the
They don't
therapist.
teach that stuff in school. They don't
No.
teach how to communicate.
don't.
They don't.
I never
Mhm.
received anything from the school teacher.
Right.
But see,
About how to raise your kids,
Mhm.
how to
Yeah,
how to be in a relationship.
About
We did-
relationships.
Yeah,
Yeah.
none
Well,
of those
even
things.
in the relationship, because what you do, they're gonna do it also
Mhm.
if you approach them
Right,
in a good way.
right.
Because otherwise, you would not be going to the ballet and dancing
Mhm.
and you
what do you
name
mean by
it.
that?
You, all of you,
You mean taking?
I took
You mean
you all over.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
you-
Oh yes.
You
yes.
help.
Piano.
Right, you
help
allowed them. You were
foster
the
that.
conduit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you help foster those
That's
Yeah.
right.
Some
passions.
yeah.
Yes, that's
well,
true.
some
That's true.
people they just don't have it
That's
because
true.
they never received that
Mhm.
passion, or they maybe
They weren't introduced to it.
But
Is
I
it-
was
whatever
5
you're
or
surrounded
6
by,
years
you-
old when I looked for the clouds. Come on.
Mhm.
That's genius.
And my mother never wanted me to do anything.
Mhm.
Art was not in her book. She thought I can do it. I said,
She was
Mother,
proud of you, Mom. She
No.
was proud. Yes, she was.
remember with the rose? I did for her a rose, and she thought, oh.
Come on, Grandma was.
My-
Are you
my
saying Grandma
dad-
wasn't
my
proud of you?
dad-
And then when
was
she
her
saw
muse.
that how I
Was my mom's
sold,
muse.
she asked me
My
to
dad was a
do
good
one.
muse.
Right, right.
Wait, say
later.
again. What did she do?
She asked me to do.
Nice.
Because she was proud of you.
hmm
Are you saying she was never proud of your success with your art gallery?
Of course she
Your
was.
mother?
Never
She,
happy
no, she
with
was in
anything.
the beginning. She didn't.
With
She
me.
didn't take it seriously
Wait, what?
until it became
She
a
always
profession.
said, it's difficult in art.
hmm
She discouraged you at first, but then once you were
She didn't
successful.
discourage it,
Okay,
no.
good. Okay, good. You
No.
said the opposite, whatever I said.
She didn't
So I have to say.
But
No,
she
so
did something.
It sounded like you were saying that.
No. What it is she didn't. At
I
first,
tried
she
to
thought it
give
would be
her a
hard to make a
painting.
living
Just,
from.
No, you just keep
you
it.
know,
You know,
because she
didn't take
was
it.
like a World War One,
And
World War
then
Two survivor.
She asked
So she's
me
more
later.
practical.
Because once you were successful, she saw,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
She saw.
Well,
You're
she
successful.
was. I see this in a lot
know.
of parents is that they're critical because they want the best for the child, but they're
Right.
not able to
She
properly
never
express
pushed
it.
me anything.
Well, she
Right.
I
wanted
had
my
to
mom
do
to
everything
do
by
something that was
myself.
making money. She didn't think my mom
Well, of
could make
course,
money
right?
with it.
Because again, she's trying to protect her.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
in the way that they were taught was to do it critically, and I see that over and over again in
Yeah.
my coaching. And that's one of the things that I love about therapy, because in therapy they teach you that there's other options. For example,
Such
this
as?
is an example from one of my clients. She has two young boys, and she's finding, and she wants to raise these two independent young boys, but she also wants them to be independent thinkers. And so she kind of commands them around. Hey, clean your room, do this, do
Yes.
that, do that. And they're rebelling, as she taught them to do. And she's like, man,
That's okay, but
right,
that's cleaning.
right,
I
but
prefer the art.
It's how you say it, though.
exactly
It's all
what
about
she's
it's your
learned.
tone of voice and
Yeah.
how you say it.
And
Are
what,
you barking it like a command, or are you saying it
Exactly.
nicely?
or well, not even that. For her, it's like the therapist said, well, give them choices. Okay,
Yeah.
if you clean your room now, you can have X.
Right.
If
Oh.
you wait till later, you can't have X, and I'm going to say a snarky comment.
I cannot
You know,
this
right? And so
spinning.
you give them choices, and she said it instantly changed her relationship with her son. And they talked about what the differences were going to be, and that kind of thing. She has a great relationship with him, but it took that moment with that therapist to go, hey, why don't you try this? And she's like, oh my gosh, I'll
Oh, she
try it.
was a therapist?
Hmm.
No, she got help from a therapist,
Mhm.
and then she
I
implemented what
would
the
never
therapist
go to a
said, and it worked.
No.
I
would
Well,
I
that's
think-
because you're smarter than all the therapists out there. They need to come to you. That's why.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Well, my dad used that approach because, and his birthday's coming up on Thursday, April 6th. He
Yes.
passed away the day the Queen died, and I
Mhm.
know he's sitting right here in the room
On-
and inspired
Oh, it's an
and
art
encouraging all
night.
of us.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But he would say, if you write a poem, you write a song, you practice piano for half an hour, you clean the house,
You know,
clean
we
the
need
kitchen,
a
cook a meal,
lifetime to talk
then
about
we
this.
can go buy an outfit and go out to the fanciest
Right.
dinner this weekend.
Yeah,
Right.
but we would
And
have
we
to
get
get
it all
the
done.
stuff done that he wanted us to
Wait,
do.
you know
We
what?
do it
Because you were
all.
motivated.
Can I say
Right,
something?
right.
Yes.
We should all go to Budapest sometimes.
Oh, I would love to.
Cool.
Not right
course.
now, but
Mhm.
maybe in the summer or
Right.
a little later.
I say,
Right?
why wait? Let's go.
know-
Wait till the nice weather.
I think it's great that you're, helping people. I think that's, anything where you're helping people is always good.
Thank you.
No matter what profession is helping people,
Mhm.
it's all great.
Helping.
So with the
Yeah,
love
'cause when you
connection,
counsel
if you
people,
are
you're helping.
single
Mhm.
and you have had, great relationships, but you're really looking for that soulmate,
Mhm.
what do you suggest?
Well, I'm gonna give our audience the same advice.
Oh,
I
when are
gave
you listening?
Is
This is for
write
Owen.
down everything that you want in that other person. And I like to be very specific. I got it down to, brown eyes, brown hair, this tall,
Oh, really?
this athletic.
Film.
I mean, everything that I could think of. And I mean, it's pages.
Pages.
Pages,
How
my
many?
God.
So how many?
Can
Can we
I-
see that?
I
So-
have it. I still have it. And now that, and this was probably 8 months before I started dating Sherry. I had known her, but she was not even in my mind as a potential
So is it just looks, or is
date.
it also personality?
No, it was what she likes, what she doesn't like, the type of music that she likes, the if she likes to dance or not, if she likes to drive, if she likes, I mean, everything I could think of.
If she likes to drive? Interesting.
Yeah, because in previous relationships, I always had to drive. And so I just wanted to split it 50-50. And she loves to drive. So
That's
it's
funny.
easy for us to,
Well, I had to drive because my husband used to see.
Wow, that's
these
really
books.
down to the nitty gritty.
Driving.
That's down to the nitty gritty for
it
sure.
is down to the nitty gritty.
Ah.
But 8 months
Remember?
later, bam, we
I had
started
to
dating.
drive.
My mom was the driver in her
Mhm.
relationship.
I had to drive.
My dad got in so many car accidents.
Oh.
He was
It's like
a
whole life of your life.
driver. He
Yeah,
did.
seriously, he was
We
a
came
great,
from
Yeah.
great in other ways. He was
But
a
he
great
just
doctor,
couldn't
but not
drive.
driving.
Drive
No.
out.
Finish this
He was a
story.
terrible
It's
driver.
like hold on for your life, okay?
We were in
We were
San
never felt safe.
Francisco.
Right,
We were
you're
in
in
San Francisco.
Francisco.
I think you were with us. I
Yes,
don't know.
yes, I was.
Anyway, we were 7 o'clock. We started driving to Phoenix because he had patients
Mhm.
coming in the next day.
Right.
And I don't know. I drove some miles, but then I started really be very like
Tired.
this. He says,
Tired.
I take it over, just sit down. So he took it over, and oh my gosh!
I'm glad I
woke up.
wasn't
said,
sitting in that car.
"You just gotta hit that car under." It was. I thought, oh my gosh, this is.
Oh my God, this is a scene
my
from
life.
Vacation.
She got
Right.
very,
This is vacation.
Oh
she
my-
woke up quickly
I
and
bet.
was ready to
So
drive
we
again.
got to the. He got to the place in the
Mhm.
morning.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
we were all on the
we
edge
love
of our
people
seat
for
when
their
he was driving.
idiosyncrasies.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
We all have our
We all have
idiosyncrasies.
So back
idiosyncrasies.
to finding your love,
Yeah, so-
finding your soulmate.
So making a list.
Owen, make your list.
And then also, now you have to look at that list and you have to look at yourself and
Yeah.
say, what kind of person do I need to
This is
be
my favorite part about what
in
you
order to attract that level of
Owen,
person?
don't
this is
need
the most
to-
important
wait,
part.
can
Yeah,
I say
film it,
something?
film it.
Please.
Just be what you are. Be. You
Yeah.
are what you are.
Yeah, but listen, is it
Nobody can change you.
right?
You,
exactly.
but
Yeah,
you
sure.
can
So
change
listen,
yourself. I,
to better
Listen.
yourself.
when I learned that, I read about relationships. I read about what women like and what they
Just
don't
let it
like.
be.
I read.
No,
I
he
just
wanted
let it
to
be.
improve.
Right,
He wanted
I-
to improve.
But that
Yeah.
has to come from
But not
within.
improve. He was always
So
the
what kind
same.
of things did you do to improve yourself?
He was.
I took classes. I read books. I talked with other women. I became. I went into coaching. I did a lot of things in
let's
order to
do another
become
show on
the man I am now.
Yeah.
But it was. But I also, it was because I was committed. Like, if I'm going to find a partner of that caliber, I'm going to have to be someone
You know
that's
what?
they'd be attracted to. And at the time, I didn't think that I was. And I didn't hate myself, or I didn't think I was a bad person. I just knew that I had some habits that I needed to change.
So you wanted to self-improve
Exactly.
in
Can
every
I
way to
say
attract that
something?
person you wanted to have. Yes.
Can you say? I mean, obviously, some people listening to this, and maybe it's gonna be so exciting that
Mhm.
you should just continue this.
Oh
show
yeah, this is part one.
for everyone because they need a little self
Motivation,
improvement, motivation.
Yes.
empowerment.
And you cannot get this. Forget about the subject. Just let them.
Yes.
come,
Well, I think
you know?
all of us can
they would
improve
like.
different parts of our lives.
Yeah.
But the good news about what Martin is suggesting, we have 2 minutes. Thank you, Dominic. What the good news about what Martin is suggesting is, if you were trying to attract your soulmate, your partner, and you write down 100 qualities,
Mhm.
from what you said, what they look like, their personality, what you don't want, you want them to drive,
Mhm.
not drive, all those qualities, and then you pull that into the universe says,
Mhm.
okay, sees that, and it comes back to you. No matter what, then you're looking to improve yourself because you want to be all those qualities too, like you're saying.
Well, similar but different. I did write a separate
Mhm.
document that was all the things that I wanted to be.
Okay.
And-
Oh.
A bobcat?
A
Oh.
bobcat. Yeah.
No,
One day.
no.
No, we are. She's
That's funny.
talking about the bobcat.
So
We're
what were
looking
some of
always
those
the bobcat.
things
She
that
says
you were
it's-
trying to
it's in the
improve?
garden.
Oh, a lot of it was around financial stability at the time. But even the type of people that I wanted to hang out with, the type of artists that I wanted to get acquainted with. And I look back on those things, and
Zero.
I've accomplished probably
1 minute.
70% of what I had set out to.
Mhm.
And I still have some things to work on, and some of it I'm like, I'm not doing that. because we change as time
Like
goes
what?
on.
What's
I
something?
can't remember. I
It's a
just remember the
lifetime
feeling. I don't remember the specific
process.
thing. It is.
It is a
Lifetime
lifetime process.
lifetime
Yes.
process.
We all can
Continue.
That's
improve
good. Okay.
in
Right.
different facets
So
of
to
our
be continued
lives.
Yes.
about finding
And
love.
Owen is
finding
with
your-
us. I
That's
love
yes.
it. I'm
Owen,
loving
Owen,
it.
come over and give us
Most
one
honest
comment. Come here, Owen.
Owen, one
Owen.
comment.
We'll end it with Owen giving us one comment on what you're
Yes,
looking for in a
all
girl.
this
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Here's my
Come here,
relationship
you
advice.
have to come closer.
Your
Here's my
inspiration.
relationship.
Come closer, please.
He got it. He got it.
Okay, okay.
Here's my relationship advice. Love will find you. Don't go out looking for love.
Oh.
If it's meant to be, it's meant
Meant
to
to
be.
be.
I agree,
It
100%.
will
No,
be.
life
If it's
life is
meant to
short
be.
and
It will
life is
be.
good and love is there. So
I love that.
experience as much
Yeah.
as you can.
Okay, oh wow, that's so
All
profound.
right.
I love that.
Well, on
That's
that
good,
note,
Owen.
Yep.
we are in the green room. Green.
Yes.
Check us out at Yes Is More Fun, Deep Chetty Music in the green
And
room.
there's a
Green
flyer
and
here.
ArtAndrea.com can see our spring wildflower art and fashion show.
And what are your hours of the gallery?
11 to 3
Whenever
Monday
we
through
go.
Saturday, and Thursday night 7 to
But
9.
people come
Saving
anyway.
the planet
one
one
show at a time.
Time.